What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity on the HermitCraft server. Oh yeah. So we're here in my Mistcraft age. It was pointed out to me the other day that the clouds down there are actually at like void level. That's kind of weird. So we're actually in the sky, even though we're at whatever, like Y60 or something like that. Yeah, the actual Minecraft clouds are all the way down there at the void level. I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, we're over here and I've noticed something else. Right behind me in this area right here, we are starting to get spawns of these goblin guys. These are from Witchcraft. What are these guys actually called? Hobgoblins? Yeah, hobgoblins. So these guys are like villagers from what I understand. You can build them little huts and they will populate them and I guess trade. I don't know. I've never messed with them. I've never messed with witchery. But yeah, I came here the other day and there was like 10 of these guys roaming around. I thought somebody pranked me or whatever, but no. Like, I've been here and there was none around and then these guys just appeared. Very crazy. So I guess they don't follow normal spawning mechanics. I mean, this is a flower field biome, but there's no grass around. It's the light outside. These are non-hostile, so they just spawn, like, I guess, anywhere? I don't know. So I don't know if these guys are going to spawn when we eventually have a roof on this place or what the deal is, but yeah, we got these guys hanging around now. It's not just me in this area. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so last time we got our applied energistics system hooked up, and I have moved it here to our void age. Yeah, I just moved it here, so we're next to our power source. We're here, we get all of our stuff. I moved everything from our diamond chests in here, so pretty much everything I own is in this chest right here. Or I'm sorry, in this ME system right here. So I did go ahead and I made up all the 1K ME storage drives. We don't have that many drives, we don't have that much space, but it's enough for me to put practically everything I own here. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, we just have the ME drive. What is that? 10 1K drives, our energy acceptor, our tesseract, and our ME crafting terminal. That's all the applied energistic stuff that we've made. Well, actually, I guess we did make that press or whatever, so we could make the circuits and things like that. I think that's in my ME system as well. So what we're going to work on today, we have our power system here, and I have to keep turning this thing on and recharging the internal battery when we run out of power. Our ME system is currently draining a little bit of power, but over time it will deplete it all. So I've been activating this thing, letting this internal buffer charge up, and then deactivating it. It'll still like fill up while this thing is turning down, or turning off. All this stuff is going down. So we'll have power for a little while, but what I want to do is actually set up some kind of a mass power storage system. Now, people are telling me Ender.io has a lot of good stuff. Let's check this out. Ender.io. Yeah, it has these capacitor banks. Oh, these are deprecated ones. Creative one. Ooh, I would like the creative one, please. Don't think we're going to get that. So a basic capacitor bank can hold 1 million RF. And this guy right here holds, this holds 10 million RF. So we would need 10 of those basic ones in order to deplete all of the energy in our big reactor. So the next tier up from that holds 5 million RF. So this is a capacitor bank. So let's see, you take, well, I guess we can make those straight away, huh? So a block of redstone, some electrical steel, okay. And these double layer capacitors, or we could do it this way and use our basic capacitor banks and upgrade them. All right, so that makes sense. And then finally we have a third tier. This is the vibrant capacitor bank. We can make that using a vibrant crystal. How do you even make one of these? Okay, so that's an emerald with the vibrant alloy. And we've made the vibrant alloys before. I think that is just like this energetic alloy melted with an ender pearl. I think that's what it was. Yeah, right here. So energetic alloy with an ender pearl makes this the vibrant stuff. So that's not bad at all. So I think if we were going to make one of these, we'd probably go to the top tier. Now each one of these vibrant capacitor banks hold 25 million RF. Now we're talking. That's a decent amount of power here. Okay, so we'd probably want to go this way. So we're going to have to look at making some electrical steel. The octadic capacitor, Octadic? I don't know how to pronounce that. yeah, so it's 2 of the double layer ones, plus some vibrant alloy and glowstone makes this guy. And the double layer ones are made with 2 of the basic ones, energetic, and some pulverized coal. So it's not super expensive. So I think we're going to go this route here. The electrical steel, how do you make that? All right, so that's iron, pulverized coal, and silicon. So we looked at getting silicon last time. We needed this for a lot of the applied energistics stuff. So you take clay and put it into the sag mill. Is there a way we can make clay? I'm curious now. Because it looks like we're going to be needing clay for a lot of stuff. Oh no, this is uses for it. So, is that? No, that was right. So yeah, we can take clay balls and make clay. We can compress that. Looks like we can do blood magic to do it with some hardened clay. Will turn into the regular clay. Sludge boiler. This origin's kind of cool. It's kind of like this little graph that shows you what percentage chance you have to find a specific ore in the world. I don't know how to get to this origin page for everything, but I've seen it a few times. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And it even tells you the best Y level to mine for it. That's awesome. So it doesn't really look like there's a good way to make clay. I think sludge boiler would probably be our best way for automating it. For something like this, we'd need a tree farm or something set up. Okay, so how about this stuff? Okay, I think this was what we were looking at before, not the whole clay blocks. So we can get some slag and dirt and water. Let's see. Bees. Bees would be a good way to get clay, 60% chance. Rock crusher origin. Okay, I think what we're gonna end up doing, yeah, I think we're gonna get bees to do this for us eventually. I don't think we're going to do that today, so we need an earthen bee. Supernatural press. Man, that's... Okay, so when you see the shiny ones, you know you've already gone quite far in a bee line. So this is going to be one of the end level, or one of the end tier bees, I think. We're going to have to get the whole infrastructure set up for that stuff. Man, my goodness, that's going to be quite far into that process. Okay, so I tell you guys what, let's go ahead, let's try and build one of these together. So it's a 25 million RF unit here. So we need 4 of these, which means we need 8 of these, which means we need 16 basic capacitors. So that is copper, redstone, and gold nuggets. Okay, so we're gonna need gold nuggets. Okay, so we'll take gold. We can just go ahead and click some of this. We'll make a bunch of nuggets here. I'm going to have to figure out Applied Energistics auto-crafting. It has changed since AE1, and I've never touched it in AE2. So I know there's a way you can auto-craft. I don't know how to do it. I will figure that out. For now, we'll just kind of use the crafting terminal to do this for us. Okay, so I said we needed like 16 of these, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that was pretty painless, right? Not bad. So let's go back in here. And we need 8 of these guys. Hopefully I have enough energetic alloy. I'm not sure if I do. I might run out of that stuff. 8, we had just enough. 8 of those, perfect. And, oh, you know what? Hold on a second, I messed up. No, I think we're gonna need to double that. Okay, so let's just make as many of these as we can. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, was that right? No, I did that right. For some reason, I thought we were going to need more of those. Okay, so electrical steel. So that's silicon, pulverized coal, and iron. I don't have any more silicon. I do have some pulverized coal. And iron was the last one. Okay, so we have 2 pulverized coal. I think let's grab some more coal. Take those. Yeah, we'll pulverize that. I actually made these capacitors, the top tier ones, for these machines. So what those do is that makes this machine hold a lot more power, and it actually makes things process a lot faster. Okay, so there is 12 more pulverized coal. Perfect. Okay, so the electrical steel was that silicon, so we need clay. Okay, so we'll take clay, stick that in here, we'll get some more silicon. Now what's good about this is you get a good portion of your clay balls back, and you get the silicon. So it's not like you're losing all of your clay. You're probably losing about a quarter of it. Something along those lines. Okay, I think that's probably enough. 22 of those silicon things. We can go ahead and turn this right back into the clay blocks. Okay, and then we needed iron. Right, and we have an alloy smelter right here. Okay, we'll just set that down right in front. Yep, so this is charging up. Kind of slow, actually. This thing, no, this has got power. Maybe this can only accept so much power per tick. That's probably what it is. So we'll put all those in there. This should be making what we need, the electrical steel. Does that only make one at a time? It does. Okay, so we have to wait for that to go 4 times. So we can go ahead. Oh, wait. No, we still need this little fella in the center. So vibrant alloy. Oh, look at that. We got 1 left. That's awesome. So we can do that and an emerald. The crafting terminal. I love this thing. All of your resources right here. You don't have to keep clicking out, going to different chests and all of this stuff. So good. Probably one of the best things you can get in Applied Energistics right away. Okay, so... Oh, I have these 4 guys right here, and then we need the electrical steel. We're making that right now. Nice. So, vibrant capacitor bank get. That wasn't too difficult. So, let's stick this little fella right here. Oh, you can set the maximum input and output. Wow, okay. 25,000 looks like the fastest. Is this out of power? Why is this not gaining any power? 0 RF a tick. 975 out of that. I feel like I'm missing something here. Input redstone mode, always active, always active. Oh, is this charging this thing? No. Can this charge it? Yes. Alright, so why is this not charging up? Oh, it's in the negative for a second there. I can pick this up. If I set it back down, what am I doing wrong here? Okay, it just got 1,000,000. I don't get it. Is it just like not displaying when I look at it? I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but I don't think I am. Let's go ahead and get rid of these machines. Get everything off of here. Wait, did this just fill up again? Why is this? Oh, my thing is filling it. That's what's happening. Okay, so this was never getting power from the Tesseract. Let's put this away so I stop using all my power. Aha, so I was charging this up using my Wyvern flux capacitor. I see. So how does this thing get power then? Oh, I have to configure the input output. Okay. Input. Wait, why is that only output? Input from the top. Input from the side. Wait, what? So the back of the thing is only... Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. I've never used these things before. If you guys haven't been able to figure that out. So that's output. I really don't understand. Why can I not set that to an input? That's... Okay, so this side over here is now an input. I'm confused. Let's set it down this way. Disabled. I really don't understand what's going on here. Okay, well, I tell you guys what. We now have 3 sides that have the little bar on it instead of just 1. I have no idea what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and figure this out a little bit off camera, guys, and we'll be back. Alright, well, I seem to have figured it out. I don't think you can put this right up against a Tesseract. It does not appear to work that way. So we have an input side now. So if I take this, let's just look at this real quick. 16.5 million. So now that that's set for an input side, I wonder, can I just put the Tesseract right there? It seems like I couldn't place this next to the Tesseract, but can I place the Tesseract next to that? And that is now set to an output. I don't understand why it does that. There's got to be some incompatibility. Like, it just won't allow a Tesseract to be there. Now, if I were to put the Tesseract one block away and do this, and then I can set that to be an input. All right, I don't get it, but that's the way it's got to be, apparently. Is that not gaining power? Oh, you know what? This might be out of juice now. That is out of juice. Let's go and activate that guy. Aha! All right, so now we are making some power here. So these cables are limited, right? Yeah, 20.4 RF a tick. 20.4 thousand RF a tick. Okay, well, I think we've just uncovered the mysteries of this thing. We can't put the Tesseract right on there. Now, my understanding is that these are multi-blocks. So if we make another one of these and set it right next to it, it'll become one, and they'll hold a total of 50 million RF, right? Since this holds 25 million. So I tell you guys what, I'm going to make another one of these or another couple of these. We'll see how many resources I have to do that. We'll start making a multi-block structure out of these guys, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I made 3 of these capacitor banks, the vibrant ones. So if we right click on here with 3 of them, yeah, it's gone up 25 each time. So the maximum input and output is 75. So that, or 75,000. So that's pretty good. That's a lot of power that we can pull out of this thing at a time. So I was looking at making a computer here. I want to be able to monitor how much power is in our vibrant capacitor bank. I think this is where we're going to get our power from on our Tesseract channel. Instead of pulling our power from here and always just using the internal buffer of our reactor, I think we're going to pull power from our capacitor bank, and this guy will provide our main base power. So I want a computer to monitor this. So when the power level goes down to a certain point, we're going to kick on the reactor and recharge this guy. And then when it reaches another point, it's going to turn off the reactor. So we don't overfill this. Basically, we'll probably go to like 90% or whatever on this guy. It'll turn this off. It'll cool down. It'll still make a little bit more power, but we won't go above that 100% mark, and we'll just be wasting power. So we don't want that. So like probably at about 30%, it'll kick the reactor on. 90%, it'll kick it off. So I have like that little in-between time where we're only running on the battery power. So this computer should be able to do this for us. Oh, by the way, computer recipes are very cheap if you've never seen these. These are from HermitCraft. So the computer recipe is just 7 stone, a piece of redstone, and a glass pane. Exceptionally cheap. So we need to go into Lua. This is how you can enter commands, things like that. So we want to wrap the peripheral on the bottom, which is our capacitor bank. So we can do this, and we can say list methods, and that'll show us all the different things we can do to interact with our capacitor bank. The one we're interested in is right here. It says get energy stored slot ? So we can erase this list methods. We don't need to list them anymore. Get energy stored. I believe you have to type in down, like an actual direction. Okay, so that says the one right below me, or I'm sorry, right below the computer has just under 20 million RF. So if we look at this thing, this holds 59, yeah, so it's just under 60. 60 divided by 3 is just under 20 per cell. So each one of these seems to have an even amount of power in them. Right. So each one of those probably has this amount of power. Unfortunately, the computer won't tell me the total amount of power that this thing has, but that's fine. We know that each capacitor has an even amount of power, and we know that each one has 25 million, so we can just base it off of 19 out of 25 is the percentage that we're looking at. So like I said, when we reach down to about 30% power, we can set a redstone signal to turn on our big reactor. When we get up to about 90% stored power, we can turn it back off again. I'll play with those figures. I don't know if that's right. Maybe we'll want to turn it off at 80% or things like that. Basically, we don't want this thing running and making power that's just going to waste. We want it to make enough power to store in here and turn off before it's making too much. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead, make a cut. I'm going to try and write a little program here based on this command, that will, decide if we need to turn the reactor on and off. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that real quick, guys, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, so I've been messing with this for a little while, and I have wrote a program. We kind of saw how I was going to do it before, but yeah, I actually got it written, I got it working now, so let's take a look at this thing. Right, so what this says is our current energy. This is how much is in that one cell our computer is right next to. So this guy right here, since there's 2 cells, that's our total power divided by 2. So yeah, we got 45,000 total. That's like what, 22 something, 22.6 in this one. Okay, so since we are above a certain point, we're saying we're discharging. So we're only running off the battery. The big reactor has been turned off. There's no reason to keep it running at this point. Once we drop below a certain threshold, though, the computer will say, hey, we're below, I don't know, 75%. Let's turn the big reactor on, fill our batteries back up. Once it reaches another point, it's so full, it'll say, hey, we're too full. Let's turn the big reactor off and we'll run off the battery for a while. Okay, so that's the way this thing works. Let's take a look at the program real quick. This is called power on my own computer here. So let's see. We got a couple of variables here. The stored variable right here, this is going to be, it's set to 0 initially, but right away we will set this to however much energy is stored. So we have a function here called set stored. When this is called, it sets this variable to how much power that we have. We have a variable or a function here called check power. This sets that variable to stored right away, and then it checks and see if the total amount of power we have divided by 25 million is greater than or equal to 95%. If it is greater than or equal to 95%, then we will say discharging. We turn the redstone signal off. The big reactor shuts down. If it is less than or equal to 75%, then we send a redstone signal to the bottom and we set the status to charging. This is not the final values. I kind of have these set like this just for demonstration purposes. And we come down here, display status. This actually is what draws to the screen. So it clears the screen. It sets the cursor position to the very first one and says current energy, this, status, whatever the status variable is. So the main program right here is just these little bit of lines. So while true do, this is a loop. So this is just going to keep going over and over and over and over again because it's always true. It's going to run the check power function, which just, turns the redstone signal on or off. It sets that power variable, display status. Or I'm sorry, it sets a stored variable. Display status will update the screen, and then it's just going to wait 10 seconds. Then I'll do that over again. It'll do that constantly, actually. So we'll exit out. Actually, let's get this let me show you how it's working right now. So we're at that much power, it's discharging. Let's go ahead and terminate this. So I'll edit this once again, and we will set it so if the stored divided by 25 million is less than, let's say, 90%, it'll set the status to charging and it'll spin up the big reactor. If it's greater than or equal to 95%, it'll turn it back off again. So we should be able to see this work right away, actually. So if I type in power, it should say charging. Yeah, it's charging now. It's emitted redstone signal. Our big reactor, big reactor should be on for right now. Let's hit O. And then there it goes. Now it's back offline because we hit that 95%. So if we come back over here, the redstone signal's back off. Okay. The problem I'm having right now is trying to get rid of power. We have so much power storage, we can create so much power, but we have no way of actually using it. It's not going to be until we get a quarry running where we'll actually be able to see this turning on and off regularly and things like that. For now, it's just kind of like, yeah, that's nice. That's good that it does that. You have 75 million RF. Your ME system will run for forever. But yeah, we will eventually have things hooked up that'll use more power. But for this demonstration, yeah, it's really difficult to get rid of all this extra power that we have. So I think what I'm actually going to be setting this thing to we'll probably, edit power. We'll probably set this to like 80%. It'll shut off 85%, something like that. 85%, and then we'll probably turn it on when it reaches like 33% or 30%, 25%. Probably anywhere in there would be very good. So we'll go ahead and save that. We'll exit out. This will run. There we go. Yeah, so this will be self-sustaining. It'll automatically turn on a big reactor when we run low on power. It'll turn it back off when it gains enough power. The way this Tesseract is now set up, we have these energy conduits on every side except for one, just because I have it up against the glass here. But these conduits can only transfer 20,000 RF per side. Like, it'll only output that, but you can have like that outputting into many different sides on a Tesseract, so you can kind of get around that limitation. So that's the way I have this set up right now. We'll go and stick that guy right there. We'll have even more power in our system. Yeah, this is gonna take a long time for it to actually run low and turn our big reactor back on. It probably won't be until we have a quarry running. But yeah, like I said, this is temporary. This is to get this thing going automatically, so I never have to worry about if we have power or not. We will always have power at this point now. The last thing we need to do is actually get our yellorium being put in here automatically, but we'll worry about that later when we come to it. And this redstone I'll probably replace with like a rednet cable or something. I wanted this here, the vanilla redstone dust, so you guys could actually see when the redstone signal was turned on, and this little thing right here actually glows red when it has a redstone signal. All right, guys. I know a lot of people don't really like the computer craft stuff. It's boring, but it is kind of a thing that I like to do. It is kind of necessary. We won't be spending a lot of time with it unless you guys really want me to. But I would like to have computer craft be a big part of this base. I want display screens showing me everything. I don't know, status of everything that we have, how much space we have free in our AE system, all those things, just random things on the wall. I want computer craft showing me all that stuff. So I'll be doing that. You guys tell me in the comments if you want me to actually show it on camera, me programming it, or, you know, explaining the programs, things like this. But yeah, I think that is going to do it for this episode of Feed the Beast Infinity. We have our power set up now. It's automatic. It's automatic gonna run. It's actually a pretty cool setup, I think. But we'll probably be moving this to a more permanent location later on. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.